28 sides will have played 24 ODIs. So we'll have a really good picture by December, and every team will know exactly what they need to do.
It's the one time when I really, really take a close look at standings or a table. I would do that in the county championship in particular, because there's that jeopardy there of relegation and the opportunity of promotion. But it's a similar thing. It's just a proper league.
Edged, and finally the first runs of the day come thanks to that outside edge. A good healthy crowd building up. I think we've got about 300 tickets pre-sold, maybe 350, so there's probably maybe 300, 350 in the ground, but plenty of walk-ups expected too. A reminder, if you're anywhere in Scotland, or particularly if you're close to Dundee, come on down, get involved and enjoy the international cricket in person. We should have a really good contest. Very tough to call contest again today, Mel.
Yeah, it really is. I think
ल गाइजहरु अब हाम्रो नेपालको गेम सुरु भइसकेको छ.
Nepal's victory with that crowd here as well.
हामी गेम चालु हेर्दै छौं.
Anyone, I don't think. No one who watches Nepal play cricket should be surprised when they win games. But just, I think, the expectations, Scotland at home, all of that. Well, it was like a Nepal home game.
Yes.
Karen Casey at it again, and it's the big one. George Munsey was at the most remarkable ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2. He falls for a duck. If you're going to get him, you will get him early. And a fine piece of swing bowling from that man, the folk hero again from the far west. It's Karen Casey.
Whether it's with the bat, whether it's with the ball, he is always in the game. Just pushes that ball across, thick outside edge, and regulation catch in the end. But boy oh boy, that
सबैले
is a
सब्स्क्राइब
big
गरेर
scout.
साथीहरु
Very
म
early
चाहिँ
on
लाइभ
in
देखाइरहेको
Nepal,
छु
you
अहिले.
can see two.
अब
They
फर्स्ट विकेट
know it.
गइसकेको छ.
Kushal Bertel with the catch. It went so quickly to him, didn't it? He wasn't just a gully, he was an incredibly tight gully. That's why I thought it was such a good catch. But Munsey's gone early. He falls for a 7th ball duck, and Nepal are up and about again. Conditions, well, they may be adverse and foreign for them, but they are making it work here in Scotland. And Karen Casey is having such a huge role and an impact in every single manner in this series, as outstrides Brandon McMullen to the crease. Well, Scotland's big three, they failed in the previous game, didn't they? I know Munsey might have got 25, 26. But McMullen hasn't got really many runs in this series, although he does have 6 wickets to his name. And Richie Berrington, after that sparkling century to round out the series in Netherlands, he's not really been in the runs either. So, pressure on Scotland yet again. And Nepal, with all those spin overs to come.
Yeah, really interesting. So George Munsey in this series has made 12, 26, and then a duck today. Now, by his standards, that really is an unusual run of low scores. When you look at the most recent series in the Netherlands, remember Scotland played an extra match against the UAE when they're in the Netherlands because the game had been postponed.
It was kind of a make-up game.
Yes.
It's actually going to be the only one of the whole tournament that we'll have with 5 ODIs in it.
But just to go through George Munsey's scores in the Netherlands, which involve both the Netherlands and the UAE. Scores of 78, 43, 106, 56, 80. And so that was the kind of run he was on. Just having another look at those standings. So there was that leftover game between Scotland and UAE that they made up. Was that when there was flooding?
It was remarkable. There was actually a government mandated stay in place warning put out the day before the game, so it couldn't have been considered as a match abandoned at 1 point apiece, because even though it was abandoned due to rain, nobody was allowed to leave the hotel, no one was allowed to leave their homes. And actually they got such catastrophic rain and flooding in that sort of 24, 36 hours. I was actually there, not for that series. I was commentating on Ireland versus Afghanistan up the road in Sharjah. Same thing for us. We were told not to travel. It was extraordinary rain. I've never seen anything like it. So the key message is don't bring Ireland and Scotland to the same place. As this is cut away. Good stroke. Charlie Tier right on top of the bounce. outfield maybe not quite as quick.
Oi,
I
oi.
wasn't here in Scotland yesterday. I was down in London, Mel. But was there some rain here yesterday? Is that why the outfield's been a bit slower?
Yeah, there was a little bit in the afternoon. The way it seems to work here is that it's bright and sunny in the morning, as it was this morning, but we're already seeing clouds come across, and just seems to be a bit of
Hello,
weather
so
that
like
builds up
like
through the
subscribe
day.
button
But
bro,
there were
bro,
showers
subscribe hanam hanam.
around last night as I took my walk into Broughty Ferry to have a little bit of dinner.
Oh no.
And that's just nicely played. Is it going to get four? It is.
Four.
Well, thought that was going to be cut off for a moment, but there was little that Lalit Rajbanski could do.
He just got caught out, didn't he? Yeah, I thought it was just going to be two. Worked into the leg side, and look at the running between the wickets. Rajbanshi, he's on the treadmill. Get off the treadmill, Lalit. Oh dear.
Just maybe a mistimed dive as
Just
well.
caught on the treadmill. Get off the treadmill.
It's like those dreams when you have those nightmares and you're
Can't-
running.
You can never make it up, can you?
You can't get
He's
going.
definitely, for me, as he's going to be in action again here. In fact, he's not going to be able to cut that off as it'll fly to the rope. Gulshan Jam, misfield. Back-to-back misfields. Very well fielded by one of the Scottish superfans. We see him all across, not just Scotland. He was out at the World Cup in the West Indies last year too. A nice little moment for him. Well fielded, sir.
But well played by Charlie Tier. Maybe he has been under a little bit of pressure for his position in the side.
क्यों ध्यान है यार?
Hasn't really made a sustained impact at the top of the order, but he made 80 in that match against Nepal here 6 days ago. It's someone who you feel often plays, I guess, second fiddle to when he's out there with George Munsey, and then if he's still out here with, as he is now, with Brandon McMullen, and the same with Richie Berrington. But what really impressed me with the way that Charlie Tier played in that match 6 days ago was that he was the leading partner. He was the one in control, and those big names, particularly with McMullen and Berrington, they were playing the supporting roles to him.
A little inside edge. Cammy again will tend to take it away from the right-handers. That one just held its line. Both really seem to have been rejuvenated, don't they, by Stuart Law. There was, I'm going to call it nonsense. I'm feeling brave on a Sunday morning. There was a bit of nonsense on social media. I think a lot of it was filling the gap of a lack of cricket. Because Nepal, yes, they played a quadrangular series out in Kuwait, but really since the Nepal Premier League, there hasn't been a huge amount of action to kind of get involved with and get engaged with. And in modern times for Nepal, that's been very rare. They've been so good at getting... Oh, gorgeous.
no.
Shot of the morning. Perfect off drive. It belongs to Charlie
चौका
Tier.
गयो.
Well, he is picking up where he left off in scoring that 80 against Nepal. And for some reason, he quite likes these bowlers. That's a lovely stroke from Charlie Tier. Really good for his confidence. I had wondered if that, just how important that 80-run innings was going to be for the development of Charlie Tier. There's obviously been a lot invested in him. And playing now, this is his 17th
लाइभ हेर्न ब्रो
ODI.
तपाईको उसमा गएर यो
Highest score as well.
CRIF मा जानुहोस् अनि लाइभमा
Someone
आउनु
that they've
मिल्छ.
invested in and they see a lot of potential. We're starting to really see why, I think, in this series.
You forget how young he is, don't you? Nice length from Karen Casey. McMullen, I think it's fair to say, has not enjoyed the pitches here in terms of his batting. He's such an elegant player. He's a flowing driver of the ball. And the bowlers have bowled well to him, but he just hasn't been sensing the ball is coming onto the bat in the way in which he would have wanted.
Yeah, a few times we've noticed with the hybrid pitches here, and talking to a few of the players as well, it does sometimes seem to just hold in the wicket a little bit. It just stops in the wicket. And so we haven't seen the greatest of timing from some of the players like McMullen.
सबैजना लाइक हान्नु पर्यो लाइक हाम्रो नेपालले 3 ओभरमा 15 रन 1 विकेट.
So it's sort of provided a few challenges, but that's it, you know. going to have to adapt to it.
Funny that they're so different, these hybrid pitches here, to the ones that we saw last August in Cricket World Cup League 2 in Vorburg. That was the Netherlands USA Canada series. Much skiddier there. They kind of, if anything, maybe because it's later in the year, it was in August, but here certainly so far I tended to see the ball just holding the surface a touch, and for a player as attacking as McMullen, he definitely hasn't enjoyed it. Now, having said that, the bowlers have really done well not to bowl too full of them and not allow him to get after them. So yeah, he's looking a bit out of touch actually, which is remarkable given what we saw last month in the Netherlands, and he's desperate to kind of find a way to get a score today.
Given what I've seen of him every time I've watched him play ever since he came into the Scotland side and became a regular, he's one of my favourite players in the associate scene and in all of cricket. I love watching Brandon McMullen play. He's got so much to offer as an all-round cricketer. Every time I watched him play ever since
Cuds into the pad, so McMullen still won't get off the mark as umpire. So Ghazi will have a think about it and finally give it his leg buys. Bit of a tease for us. But yeah, the nonsense I was referring to, Mel, in the previous over was that a lot of that kind of void and lack of cricket from the national team front, anyway, from the men's end, was filled by some calls for Karen Casey to retire, for Sampal Kami to be discarded, for Arif Sheikh as one of the older players, but he doesn't score quickly enough, and enough has been enough from those three great servants of the team who've all played for the national side. Well, in Sampal Kami's case, for more than a decade. Karen Casey a similar length, Arif Sheikh nearly that length. Where are those comments now? Where are those? What are they saying now, Mel?
Well, exactly. Sometimes players respond to that sort of criticism as well, but I just don't know why you would ever not have Karen Casey in your side in particular. It's just, he offers, again, like what I was saying about McMullen, I mean, he's always in the game. If it's chiming in with the ball, if it's an incredible cameo with the bat, and he's been there for big moments for Nepal, and I think that's what's key.
Yeah, for as long as anyone can remember. So it's into the pad, massive appeal, long way forward though, and Ghazi has a long think about it and says no. KC was convinced this is going to make an interesting replay.
Replay. Oh no.
Really close, Mel.
Close. It was nipping back in, but you can understand why they were very excited about it.
It's adjacent, isn't it? Is it going to nip and miss the leg stump, or is it?
It did nip back a lot, maybe. It did nip back a long way.
A lot happening.
Yeah, basically a lot happening.
I think most cricketers.
Outline LPW
only a bowler you bat 11. I think most cricketers will even watch that replay and say they'd prefer that to be given not out than given out, because there's so many imponderables there, and can you really say as an umpire that you're certain that that's going to be?
Get the freeze frames and draw some arrows or whatever it might be, but they've just got the one shot. McMullen still yet to get on.
इम्पायरले दिएन अब यसमा रिभ्यू सिस्टम हुँदैन ब्रो
The runs
इसीलिए
bowled really well to him. It's kind of incredible, really, when you look at Charlie Tier, 15 off 12, played the most fluently.
कहाँदेखि हेरिदिन्छ कमेन्टहरू गर्दै गर्नु ब्रोहरू कहाँदेखिको हुनुहुन्छ
And you've got McMullen scratching around and able to get off strike. You have Munzi played out a maiden first up and was out in the second over that he faced. It feels like topsy-turvy world.
Doesn't it just? You will get off the mark finally as Raj Banshi has another long chase. Gets there successfully this time, fields very well, keeps it to a couple, probably a run saved there. The anticipation for the series, Mel, it was something that particularly the Nepal fans were so eagerly awaiting. It's funny for Scotland and the Netherlands though, isn't it? Because their kind of main event, their main course, if you will, for this summer is going to be in less than 3 weeks' time or so, isn't it? Or about 4 weeks' time from now. Over in Voorburg, in the Netherlands, 5 teams, 2 World Cup spots. Good back foot punch, finds the gap. Rowan Powdell, look at the speed across the surface. Gets there. There's room to spare. It's an amazing ovation from the Nepal fans. Fantastic athleticism, great fielding.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from the skipper, leading the way. Finally getting some runs off the bat now for McMullen. It wasn't timed completely, but they were able to get back for a 3. Everyone rugged up. As you can see, we've got some Nepal fans there, ready to go.
Dhaka Topi, very much looking resplendent, as it always does.
मोबाइल ब्रो यार राम्रोसँग देखेर देखिन्न के
Topi in the bag. Get that out
यो
later.
ल्यापटपमा कनेक्ट भएन
Great song. I'm talking about the Dhaka Topi song. A
यो पनि
number of
कोसिस
Dhaka
गरिरहेछु
main one. Oh, it's brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a traditional song from the 70s or 80s, but it's trended up a wee bit on a lot of whenever I wear a Dakatopia in Nepal, they'll take sort of a video of me at the toss or somewhere in the crowd with it, and they'll put this song over it. Very catchy. Dakatopia.
ढाकाटोपी सिरैमा ढलक्कै ढल्कियो
Love and how much they love the Dakatopia, the pride of being from Nepal. It's driven, beats on Palkani.
Oh no!
Get a hand on it, maybe. Lamachani chases in vain. It's another boundary. Tear is looking really good. He started on an absolute tear, isn't he?
Well, he has, and everyone else is struggling to time the ball. Look at that. Look at that. Could have almost evasion tactics in the end. Almost took his feet out.
When you were in Nepal, Mel, did you get given any of the traditional dress there?
So, I was just about to ask you about this, but is it okay for women to wear the duckle topi?
I don't think it's by any means male only, but you'll tend to see it
Right.
Predominantly.
Yeah. I like hats, and I do tend to be a bit of a hat wearer.
UCL2. You can get in touch with us directly. Andrew Leonard here with you. You can get me at Cricket Badge on either Twitter or Instagram. We'll try to get to your questions. If you've got cricketing questions, not so much on traditional Nepalese dress. You can also get Mel Farrell at Melinda Farrell on Many fielders might not have cut that off ahead of the rope. He does everything on. It's like, I don't know if you ever receive a WhatsApp voice note.
Usually from you.
Okay.
You have a voice note, Lenny.
But if you've got three options of that, you've got 1x, 1.5x, or 2x.